Hello again, and welcome to another Retro Ramble, and I do mean ramble this time, because although I've played these games a lot over the years, and I mean a lot, I don't actually know a lot about them. What games am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the Repton games. In this video, I'll just be discussing Reptons 1, 2 and 3. I will get to the other ones in another video, but I haven't really played those ones, so I thought I'd cover the ones I know a bit about, and I do mean just a little bit about. The Repton games were developed and distributed by Superior Software in the early 80s, and the original Repton was written by a chap called Tim Tyler, who was only 15 when he wrote the game. This is a bit of Repton 1, have a look. Now, Repton 1 is fairly simple from what I remember. You collect the diamonds and you progress to the next level, avoiding rocks and other nasties. Mostly rocks though, and those rocks do get you at the most inopportune moment. They just come up behind you and go, wah! Like that, and that's it, you're dead. And as you probably gathered from the footage you've just seen, I'm not very good at it. In fact, I'm terrible at it. I used to be quite good, I think, but I'm not so sure these days. I'm ashamed to admit it again, I don't really know a lot about these games. I've had a quick look on the internet and I can't really find a lot of information about them apart from the fact that they were made by Superior Software and distributed mostly on the BBC Micro. Yes, there are other conversions on different systems, but most of us will remember them on the BBC Micro. The one of them I remember the most, because I played it the most, was Repton 2, which looks a bit like this. Repton 2 was a little bit more, I don't know, can you say non-linear? I don't know, I think non-linear is quite a good way of putting it, than Repton 1. Because Repton 2, you could wander around and collect your diamonds like you did in the first one, but you weren't just avoiding rocks. You had these little firefly type creatures that if you let out would come after you. If you could still die from being hit on the head by a by a rock. And also, I think you got them in Repton 2, you certainly got them in Repton 3, the eggs. You got hatched by an egg, you got followed around by another lizard, which was weird because you were playing a lizard in the first place. So obviously you owed this guy money, or you'd said something rude about his sister, which is why he was following you around. Now, this is Repton 3. Now, as you can see, I'm not very good at this either. And this partly goes down to, this is the game I know the least out of the three. I don't actually really remember playing it much as a kid. I do remember that it wasn't as big as the second one, and it was a little bit more linear like the first, but you also had a lot more dangers. And this is the one where you definitely had the lizards in the eggs. Now also, you had to collect keys in this one to be able to move between different levels. You had a key and you had to go and find the locked door and you'd move on. So yeah, I don't know a lot about the Repton games apart from they were a lot of fun. But I do remember one thing about them, which anybody who had Repton 2 will remember. This.
Superior Software presents Repton 2. Watch out for speech, our new program, coming soon.
That's what made Repton 2 stand out for me, the speech at the beginning. If you showed that to a kid today, they wouldn't be very impressed, but when I first saw that in about 1987, I thought it was pretty cool. I had a big thing about speech on computers, and it just really impressed me when you could get a computer to do that. I think that's probably because of War Games, when David Lightman manages to get Joshua to speak with a synthesized voice. Ever since seeing that at the age of about 8, it always fascinated me. And when I went away to school in 1988, there were a lot of BBC computers at my school that spoke. Because those who don't know me, I went to a school for visually impaired kids. And speech on a computer was a big deal for that kind of school. So we had the speech boxes on all the computers where you'd turn them on and they would either utter 9600 in a really high-pitched voice, which sounded more like 9600, or for some bizarre reason they used to say Ready Master. But trust me, the way it said it, it sounded nothing like Ready Master. Those of you with a more active imagination will probably figure out exactly what it sounded like. So again, I apologise for the kind of short nature of this video. I will be looking at the other Repton games at a later date. And as I say, I'm not doing this today because I've never played them. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this very short and sweet video. And I hope you've enjoyed watching some very good game footage of me playing the game badly, because I'm terrible. Next week, we're going back to the Commodore 64, and a game that I played to death. I first played it on the Amstrad, but I'm going to be talking about the C64 version, because it's the one I had the most experience with. What game's that? You know the drill by now. Listen to the music, figure it out for yourself, and leave comments down in the bottom. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like and share my page. It's this one here. Ding! So that's it for me now. I'll see you next week. Have fun. Bye bye. Don't forget, if you haven't already, press the subscribe button so you can get notifications and whatnot about our latest videos. And if you've already done that, you're not off the hook. Down there, that thumbs up thing, give it a press, give us a thumbs up, you know you want to. And also, leave a comment, start a discussion, tell us what you think, tell us if we've got anything wrong. Because it's not us that's wrong, it'll be you that's wrong. But, you know, it's a free country, you can say what you want. Bye.